Good beginning. Hey, Survey of Art. We're going to go over our first art assignment. We're going to talk about the elements. So the elements of art are like the words, and the principles of design are like the sentences. So in Survey of Art, we concentrate mostly on learning the elements so that we can use those later on to create good composition. You're going to create visual notes. So the requirements for those are you have to write the definition for each element. Each element requires one, maybe two drawings, and it'll be described in the slides, but follow the directions per each slide. Put in effort. Messy will lose you points. These notes will help you in future lessons. So don't just like scribble these down. You have 2 full days plus the weekend to get these done. So quality is something we're looking for. The notes are worth 35 points, 5 points for each element. So these are the elements of art. They're basically the building blocks for any artwork that you do. We've got line, space, color, texture, value, form, and behind my bay head is shape. So here's a couple examples of how you can organize your notes. By all means, you don't have to do it this way. These were done while we were in school, so they had like a big sheet of paper to draw, and they had supplies from the classroom that they could use. Some of you might have picked up some supplies. Use whatever you have at home. It can be done on notebook paper. You can use colors like colored pencils, crayons, markers, anything you want. You can do it on printer paper. They don't have to look this organized if you don't want them to. If you are more of like a mind map person, you could do that. If you're more kind of like here, 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 totally up to you. So the overall theme in these, though, you should see is that these people all chose one image to represent their elements and kept with that image for consistency. So you can see how the element changes per image. So here our example is a Converse shoe, and that will go throughout. This student used a teddy bear for each one of her elements. This student used a goldfish for each one of their elements. And you can see really good, high quality work. So the first element is line. It's one of the most basic elements that we have. It's a dot that moves a continuous mark on a surface. So you start off by making that little dot and then just like kind of rolling with it. You can have straight lines, you can have jagged lines, you can have disconnected lines, zigzags, swirls, crossed over lines. There's so many different kinds of line out there that you can make. These two shoes show you in each one 5 different kinds of line that you can make. Your image, you only need one, but it has to show 5 different kinds of line or more. And then again, here's that example of that teddy bear showing different kinds of line. And it has the definition above it. The next one is shape, and this one has to have 2 images. A lot of people will just do one. You have to have 2, okay? So a shape is a flat and closed figure. It's 2-dimensional. It only has height and width. For your 2 images, you're going to do one that has no interior shapes, so kind of a silhouette, if you know what that means. It's just kind of a shadow of an image. So we're just doing one shape here. The second image should have shapes within the shape, so it should have interior shapes. So this one's got the Converse shoe, but then it's got what look like the laces. It's got a design of a lime on the side, shapes inside shapes. It should look flat though. Don't try to make it look 3D. And here's her example. We've got just the silhouette itself, then we've got the square with another shape inside of it. The next one is texture. Texture can be hard in drawing because it's actually implied. It's the way something looks like it feels, not the way it actually feels. In sculpture or ceramics, you can create texture. Even in some like mixed media art, you can create texture, or in like oil painting where you're painting thick. But in drawing, like what you're going to be doing, it's going to be how something looks like it feels. So draw one object that shows 3 different kinds of textures. So this one looks like it has scales on it. It looks like it maybe has like some hairs down here. It looks like it's smooth down here because there's nothing in this area. Here we've got what looks like spikes. We've got some swirls. We've got the stringy laces. And again, here we've got different textures on our teddy bear and the definition. The next one is color. Here you're going to draw 2 again. So not just one single one, but 2 actual color schemes you're going to choose. So draw 2 objects. Each one should have a different color scheme. So don't do the same thing with same color scheme for each. You could choose complementary and choose 2 different kinds of complementary. So color is seen when the light reflects off an object back to your eye. You can go with cool colors, so like blues, greens, purples, yellows, think of the cold. You can go with warm colors, think of fire, red, oranges, yellows. Purple kind of verges both of them. It could be like a warm purple or a cool purple. Or you could go with complementary colors. So those are like opposite each other on the color wheel, which we'll get to the color wheel a little bit later on. But some examples would be red and green, purple and yellow Vikings, orange and blue, you got the Broncos. A lot of times sports teams use complementary colors. So again, 2 drawings, 2 different color schemes. Here is an example of warm colors versus cool colors. Space. You only have to draw one, but you can kind of go either style here. So space is the distance or area around, between, and within components of an artwork. So you need to draw 2 objects, not 2 separate drawings, but 2 objects. And the way you can show space is by making one smaller than the other. So like one could be far away because it's small, and one could be close and it's big, or you can overlap them, or you can do both. So the bottom image, kind of behind my head here, is 2 shoes that are the same size, but they're overlapped. You can tell that one is behind the other because they're overlapped. The top image, the back shoe is a little bit smaller, plus it's overlapped. So it makes it look like it's farther away. Here we've got one that's far away and one that's close up. Value. Value refers to the brightness or darkness of a color. So how light can it be, how dark can it be, and what are the mid-ground in between? Draw one object, try to show 3 values. You could do this in pencil, so just draw really light, draw medium, draw hard. You could leave some areas white, or you could do it in a color too. Here we've got our teddy bear. We got our background is light, the inside of the ears are medium, a darker medium, and then really dark for the eyes. The next one is where we go from 2D to 3D, and we're creating form. So a form has height, width, and depth. So 2D just has height and width. This one actually has depth, which can be definitely harder to draw. Give it a try, see how it goes. I'm grading you on more effort for this one and just like trying it out. It might not look exactly like you want it to. So draw one object and show a shadow. Use a consistent light source like the example above. So a shadow, like a cast shadow here. So if this is our sun up here, like pointing down, the light's hitting it here. You can see this side of the shoe is lighter, and then it reflects a shadow down here. And then it's got values in it, just like the last slide, lights, mediums, and darks. And it helps create form. Another way you could do this, if you know how to draw a cube and like turn a square into a cube, or a cylinder, like a circle into a sphere or anything like that, you could do that too. Here's an example. So we've got different shading. We've got a light source from this side, and then there's even a shadow under the frame. So again, you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This will be due Sunday afternoon. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a good one.